Super Smash Bros. Is very cool, and I enjoy it a lot. I honestly have nothing of substance to say about the series other than it's cool and that I'm thankful it exists. Just don't look at my playtime on Ultimate, please. Smash is very special to me, and anime is also pretty special to me. And video game OVAs have existed for ages, and they're fucking awesome. But have you ever wondered which Smash characters out of all 80 of them have their own original video animations? OVAs for short. Oh, you know. Anime typically made by smaller studios on smaller budgets, mostly made for Japan's home video market near their economic bubble, and even sometime after that. Yeah, baby, it's back to this fucking topic. There are a very surprising amount of video game OVAs around. Everyone knows about the Mario and Sonic OVAs, but have you ever heard about the Fire Emblem OVA? I bet you haven't. Honestly, there's a limited number of these things out there, at least of what counts in my definition. There's at least a few of these that are advertised as films, but I think they're just OVA episodes compiled into a film? Or so they call it, cause calling it Sonic the Hedgehog the movie, not to be confused with the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, and not this one, wait, what the fuck is that?
I got a Glock in my Rari, hey, 17 shots, no 38, I got a Glock in my Rari, 17 shots, no 38.
Okay, so basically we're looking at self-contained 100-minute or below anime exclusively made for home video, for the most part. Okay, we got that? Fuck yeah, let's rock.
I sink 50 feet into my mattress, then dream of us, but we haven't touched one time, this was practice. But when I wake up, I wonder if I am good enough with all my baggage. I'm searching for yours, I can't find a zipper or package. We juxtapose like black and white, that's where you find the magic. But I can learn how to play stable if I just study all your habits. I'm suffocating in this satin, clutching on something out of reach. If it's between me and them, then I am the one that you should teach. I'll be whatever you.
Hello, hi, it's me, Rose, the person you're watching at the moment. I don't want to take up too much of your time, so I'm just going to get right to it. But I have a Patreon page, and I also have a newly created Ko-Fi page. For the very reasons of, if you want to monetarily support me and my videos, it's very much not an obligation. Please help yourself and your communities and your friends first before you even think about me. But it'd be awesome. I've been trying to move out of a very not great housing situation, and also I've been transitioning, which is quite the undertaking in this current year. So yeah, it's been fucking nuts-ass year for me. So if you want to help me out a little bit, that'd be really amazing. But otherwise, I hope you have a genuinely amazing rest of your time watching this video. Thank you for spending this time with me. I think I'm gonna go at this in the order of the Smash Ultimate rosters, just so this is like an ounce organized. This video wouldn't be able to start off any other way than with Super Mario Bros., the great mission to rescue Princess Peach anyway. This one was so cute. The title kind of gives it all away, but also what we're gonna expect from anything Mario. I enjoy seeing him and Luigi peruse around this little world and encountering all the enemies and obstacles from the games. It's super obvious this was one of the first multimedia appearances for Mario, and first film adaptation for a game in general, actually, just due to how many creative liberties were taken with it. This really is day and date with the Star Soldier adaptation. I don't know how impactful that game was, but honestly fucking awesome. He isn't even a plumber, just a shopkeeper, but he still has the getup of a plumber. What is up with that? They also live in what looks like one of the paintings that was on the wall at my dentist's office as a kid. I'm gonna tell my kids this is what Arizona is like. Luigi also looks kind of strange here. I don't think I really like these colors on you, buddy. They look kind of bad. I'm so sorry. I love you. The toads in this thing also look so fucked up. I really could go on, but I absolutely love stuff like this. I grew up on Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog and its weird fucked up world and characters. The lack of material for many of these early adaptations meant that the people making them had to get creative. The original Mario movie, Mario Adventures, and the Sonic OVA are the examples that come first into my mind of this sort of thing. That type of loose adaptation is a lost art nowadays. Bring this shit back, please. I just think it's fun when people who make movies get to, like, make movies and not pseudo-glorified advertisements for the thing that they're making a movie about. I genuinely don't really care for most new video game movies for this reason. They all feel very hollow and lacking substance because they're supposed to make man-children cheer for the little girl dying and stuff. A lot of them are at least competent and pretty entertaining, but the film lover in me sheds a tear at another American blockbuster with the worst lighting ever. Back to the main topic though. This is also the movie where Mario gets cock-blocked by the fucking dog. Damn Mario. Daddy Miyamoto has been doing you dirty for like 30 years. One last thing about this OVA. This has fucking ads for Mario Ramen and like curry and shit. Like, this is an actual product that you could have hypothetically bought if you were a Japanese citizen in 1986. Super Mario Bros. The Great Rescue of Princess Peach. Jesus Christ, I hope I said that title right. I really liked this though. It's a very cozy watch, especially with some friends. You should give it a shot. It has a really nice 4K transfer on Chemical Video on YouTube that you can watch for free, so you literally have no excuse. Pokemon is so much out there for you to experience if you really wanted to. I know, fork, frown, and kitchen moment here, but wow, Jesus, there are a lot of Pokemon movies and anime out there, and I originally didn't even want to touch it just because of how much there was to choose from, but here we are with Pokemon the Movie 2000. I chose this title because it's really funny to me and it's kind of the only Pokemon movie I for some reason actually know of. I love when we as a society chose to name things after numbers. Where's Super Mario 4K or whatever the fuck? Everybody wants translucent devices back or whatever, but I hear no one talking about this. Anyways, Ash and his friends travel to a new island and hang out there until this guy decides to fuck everything up and kidnaps a few of the legendary Pokemon. I feel bad for saying I'm not too familiar with X thing, but I'm not too familiar with Pokemon at all. Be prepared for me to say some variation of this throughout the rest of the video. I just like the silly creatures and stuff, but I don't play the games much at all. Jamaican Pikachu is fucking awesome though. The use of CGI in this film is so cool. It's usually for these really big moments such as the ship or whenever the animators decide to have some giant waves because they just think it's cool, and it is. The CGI mix really makes those sequences just pop. Like, oh my god. Actually, this whole movie looks so fucking good. The colors in this thing absolutely pop. They're just so vibrant and honestly, fuck. Shout out to the ending scene. I fucking adore sunsets. If you watch this, watch it for the visuals. We actually take a pretty significant skip in the roster all the way to Fire Emblem. On paper, it seems like a really weird thing to produce, and in theory, I guess people didn't really resonate with it as it got cancelled 2 episodes in. However, Fire Emblem was pretty popular in Japan, with the series in the middle of its Super Famicom run, having just put out the best reviewed and best-selling entry ever in Japan at that time with Mystery of the Emblem. Its next entry, Genealogy of War, was also slated for later that year despite the N64 being nearly out. So what better way to capitalize on the success than to make an OVA based off of your most successful game yet? I already spoiled it, but it didn't really go so well. I watched the ADV dub of this thing, which yeah, surprisingly it came out in the US, despite it being a really long ass time until Marth's entry into Super Smash Bros., and even longer than that for Fire Emblem's first English game on the Game Boy Advance. This OVA genuinely might have had more impact on the series than we give it credit for. Kinda wish the final product had more to talk about, but you can't always win. It adapts the aforementioned mystery of the emblem, which I'm not too innately familiar with, to be honest. I've really only played 3 houses, and I started playing that game because I thought Byleth was hot. They all just kind of hang out and fight and hang out a little more and fight a little more until it ends nearly an hour later. The friend I watched this with said it was pretty accurate, so I guess there's that. Spike Spencer, Tiffany Grant, and Kurt Stroll, who voiced Shinji, Asuka, and the other twink. Not that one. That one also shows up in this. You know what? Marth, or Mars as they refer to him here, is kinda like Shinji. They're both pathetic boy failures who have daddy issues and like men even though they'd say otherwise. Actually, this is kind of a lot like Ava, just trust me here, I swear. I like the character Kurt Stroll voices because he says 5 points! And that's really funny to me, and it's kind of a new vocal stem. Actually, there's a pretty good amount of moments in this thing that are very amusing. This one's pretty fun to watch with some friends, actually. I'd especially recommend the dub. It's really fucking funny, actually. Also, before I forget, I've watched pretty much all of these with the dub if I could, because to be honest, OVAs are a little more fun sometimes with them. I'm sorry to all of my purists watching this. You can tell me to go die in the comments or something if it really bothers you. I promise you I won't read it. Okay, I don't want to talk about this one too much, because I've gushed about it in my first Sonic Locations video, which you should watch. But the Sonic OVA is amazing! Shit's iconic as fuck, everyone knows this joint. The music, the dubbing, the art, and the best thing to ever come out of the Sonic franchise, and that's saying a lot. It very easily eclipses the recent Sonic movies, and it doesn't have Tom propaganda. But the new Sonic Cinematic Universe has Jewish fucking Knuckles. Pick your poison, I guess. Jewish Knuckles or Cowboy Knuckles. Does this universe confirm the rest of the characters at least know, or maybe even practice Judaism, or some other religion, actually? Fuck, I don't really know. I really hope Sonic 4 or whatever the fuck they call it delves into this aspect more, or maybe they're gonna reveal Eggman as a Mormon in a new Paramount Plus exclusive series or whatever that no one will watch. That'd be scarier than anything. I want them to make like a fucking wooden submarine or some shit. Maybe the next movie can be like that one South Park episode with the Promise Rings and the Jonas Brothers. Sega and Paramount, hire me. I am what your silly little franchise needs, not fucking Jelly Roll or whatever. Here's a nice and cozy OVA. Gengechi Doban Dobotsu no Mori, or Animal Crossing the movie for you Westerners. Released in 2006 for Japan only, I think out of all the material discussed in this video, this and the Mario OVA are the only things locked to Japan, which is really weird. I feel like out of all of the anime discussed, these probably would have done decently well at the very least in the West. Actually, if you think about it, Nintendo has done nothing with all of their OVAs, which is odd for the company that likes to profit off of literally all of their history if they can. This film right here is only preserved and viewable for Western audiences thanks to really cool people making fan subs of this. There's even a fan dub if you want to go that route. They're both on the Internet Archive if you want to see them for yourself, which honestly you should. This thing is so fucking adorable. It sort of reminds me of like Chibi Maruko-chan, my favorite song. With the way the movie plays out, the movie has all of the cozy vibes and beats that you'd expect out of an adaptation of the game. I really love the main girl's relationship with their friend Margie. They make each other really light up, and the cherry pie metaphor that comes back every so often is really fucking poignant. The movie also looks pretty as fuck. I love the colors in this, especially by the end of the movie. It's about as good as you can make something like this. Also, I really love the Able sisters. They're like my favorite. I fucking love them. They're adorable. Fuck, I love the Able sisters so goddamn much. Fuck. I do have one question though. Is Tom Nook included when we say kill all landlords? Let's continue with the cozy stuff with Mega Man Upon a Star. It's a decently fun 3-episode saga following these random children as Mega Man and friends keep getting sucked out of their TV and having to save Japan. Did they all share the same TV? What the fuck? One of the main standouts of this were the colors. God damn, those sakura trees in the first episode were so pretty. This series actually takes a lot of time to educate Mega Man and the viewer about Japanese culture through these little moments where the children just kind of stop to tell you, hey, we drive on the right side of the road, actually, or their New Year's traditions. The show's mostly centering on these super basic episodic adventures, but the last episode of this thing has a time travel plot, and oh my god, it is the most confusing thing ever. Mega Man and Roll travel 1 year into the future to stop Wily and his plans, but they eventually come back a month later to tell the kids that a year later that they have to stop the typhoon Wily's making, or something like that. That's not even my biggest, oh no. Hi, hello, it's me, Rose, from MOV. Quite literally months after recording all of this and writing everything, I remembered that the AV Famicom actually existed. I was about to go on a whole rant about that, because just of my bewilderment that the top loader, as it is known in America, was prominently featured in this OVA series. But, no, they were probably just thinking that was the AV Famicom. Still a very interesting choice, I guess. But, I mean, that's pretty cool. To all of my AV Famicom heads out there, I'm very sorry. I heavily apologize to each and every single one of you. You're allowed to, like, I don't know, eat me up or something, or kill me. I don't know. Also, Wily turns the Eiffel Tower into a robot. I wish he was able to do this to the Twin Towers. Do you think he flew those planes? Happy late 24th, by the way. You're getting to the big one. There's not a lot of ways to say something was cute, honestly, so hopefully I'm not just repeating myself here, but it made me and the friends I watched it with smile, and I think that's cool. Street Fighter 2 the movie, not to be confused with Street Fighter the movie, also not to be confused with Street Fighter 2 movie on Sega Saturn, based off of Street Fighter 2 the video game, is an animated film about fighting in the streets, I think. Sometimes they fight in other places. This is gonna start a trend of these weirdly overly dramatic adaptations of fighting games in this video. This movie has Cammy assassinating a fucking minister. She has the right idea, though. The rest of the movie follows this plot about the whole cast seeking revenge against M. Bison for a variety of reasons, such as killing Guile's best friend or Chun-Li's father. Speaking of Chun-Li, though, she has the best scene in the entire movie. Her uncut shower scene is probably the best thing to come from this film, because damn, they should have called her Chun Cheeks for this one. I like when they play grunge music in the English version of this movie. Like a lot of these other OVAs so far, it was a pretty okay time. Considering that this was made in like 6 months or so and switched directors in the middle of that, it flows weirdly well. Apparently the new director, Gisaburo Sugai, split this team into 3 to make separate parts, each about 30 minutes in length to make the full thing. This does feature Steve Blum and Bo Billingsley, who voice Spike Spiegel and Jet Black respectively. Cool shit. I like that Ken likes Alice in Chains' Dirt. That's actually a really good fucking album. You should listen to it. Final Fantasy VII is a game I am somewhat familiar with. I have played about 10 hours of the first part of the remake saga, which probably translates to the first hour or so of gameplay in the original. I fucking love it, but my brain sucks a lot, so I haven't finished it. So what better way to engage with the compilation of Final Fantasy VII than this non-canon OVA that apparently isn't even a part of this compilation at all? Fuck. It's only 25 minutes in length, so it kind of covers nothing. You have a few scenes with Zack and Cloud together, Tifa when the town is burning down, and a sequence with Cloud and Sephiroth. For what it is, I thought it was cool. The fight scenes between Cloud and Sephiroth are really sick and fun to watch. I love watching twink girls fight it out to the death and like bleed and stuff. Also, we're establishing this now. Cloud and Sephiroth are trans girls. My friends have shown me the light and I'm always correct here, and my friends are also always correct. If you don't like that, get the fuck out. Also, the windmill jail scene made me happy, as it's one of the main story beats I'm actually familiar with already, and I also really like Tifa and Cloud's relationship. It's really sweet, at least in the remake. Supposedly this short was kind of just like a few segments taken from Crisis Core and Before Crisis, just kind of smushed together or something. I haven't played either, so I can't judge how well this is adapted at all, but it's neat. It's animated by my goat's Madhouse though. Also, Cloud gets fucking sniped at the end of this. What the hell? What goes on in this series? I have to play it now. Back with another OVA based on a fighting game is Fatal Fury, the motion picture. Ignore how this is the third of a trilogy of Fatal Fury OVAs. Shush. The title does not make that clear at all, but fuck it, we're reviewing this anyways. The visuals are so fucking skunk. It's weird too, because much of the time it genuinely looks really pretty and the characters look so good, especially my Princess Mai. God damn, I'm so glad I'm a woman enjoyer. A sapphic maybe. Women rule.
Anime girls.
But then you get moments like this. I feel kind of bad judging animation stuff like this, so I probably won't go into it too much longer. It just looks kind of funny. The movement and choreography look really good though. It's mainly just the characters that can be an issue at times. It's another one of those silly fighting game movies that somehow involves war and terrorism and shit. I'm not super familiar with either Street Fighter or Fatal Fury lore, so maybe this is just what fucking happens in these games. They do go to some place called Israel, which I've never heard of in my entire life. They must have made that up for the movie. Shit's more like isn't real. It was interesting for sure. If you fuck with Fatal Fury, it's probably worth a watch. Definitely so for some boobage. For our final OVA of the day, it's fucking Tekken. I'm really not familiar with this series, but they do the thing where Heihachi throws Kazuya off the cliff, so that was cool. Out of all the fighting game OVAs I watched for this video, this one was kind of the most boring, at least until closer to the end. The Tekken guys fight on this giant island until they reach Heihachi, and yeah, it's at least faithful to the game. For some reason, the gore meter is damn near all the way up for this OVA. Like, fuck. There's a scene where some dinosaurs show up and the characters actually get fucking eaten by them. What the fuck were they thinking? There's also a kangaroo with boxing gloves, sort of like the hit video game Kangaroo for the Atari 2600. That's pretty neat. I like how they tease a sequel at the end of this thing. Like, what the fuck? I feel as though I would have resonated with this more if I knew more about Tekken. I'm not really sure.
I want to, I want to.
Break it down. Break it down.
I want to, I want to.
Break it down. Break it down.
I want to, I want to.
Break it down. Break it down.
I want to, I want to.
So yeah, video game OVAs are pretty neat. It was pretty fun discovering a few of these too for this video, and I hope I introduced you to something new. These are usually some of the least acknowledged parts about certain game franchises, if not most of them. Fair enough, I guess, just due to how obscure they are, but that's what makes them interesting. A lot of these were made at a time where the series had a lot less material to work with, but that's what makes them charming as fuck. And a couple of them are actually super big parts of video game history that no one talks about. I think we should beg Nintendo to re-release all of their OVAs to 4K and Blu-ray, and if they don't, we get the fascist plumber. Who's with me? Maybe one of these days we can talk about more video game OVAs in general. I don't know. I guess you can comment below or something if that interests you. I have Patreon. You're allowed to donate me money because I'm fucking awesome, and yeah, it's only $1 a month for a bunch of cool stuff, so you should. Fuck. Anyways, I guess I'm out. Thanks.